Hey y'all, this is Kate Madamice and welcome back to my Flosstube channel. I'm here today for a special episode where I'm going to show off my sewing or craft room. It's my happy space and it is not done yet. I don't think it'll ever be done because of course I will continue to fill the walls with things as I finish them and whatnot. But I thought I would show it off to you guys since I just took the time to organize it and stuff last weekend. It's kind of a good time to show you just in case you're interested in seeing it. I wanted to mention that tomorrow is September 14th, 2019, and that is my Flosstube anniversary, my first Flosstube anniversary, which I just realized a couple of days ago. So I'm working on something super awesome for you guys for my next Flosstube video. At least I hope it's super awesome. I haven't come up with it yet, so we'll see. But I'm trying to come up with something super awesome for you, so just keep your eyes out for that. Alright, let's get started. Alright y'all, so this is the view of my craft room from the hallway, and we will just head on in. So first off, I want to point out my doorstop here. So this pillow is the first thing I ever quilted. And it is now my doorstop because this door shuts if I don't have anything keeping it open. So that is what that is. Alright, and here's my desk. This is where I sew and stuff like that, where my coffee mug is. It's where I put my sewing machine. Over here, I just have a notebook that I keep open all the time just to put down if I come up with anything for a Flosstube or whatever. I just write it down there. Hey, also I'm going to insert this little clip. I forgot to show this drawer. I just wanted to show you really quick. I've got all my finished rolled up cross stitches up here. And then, well, hello Stella. This is the top of Stella's head. That's what that is. This is a thing that I made one time. If you can see it, Stella, stop eating it. Hey. Hey, all right. You're shaking the back. It's just like, it's called dimensional weaving. I took a class on it one time. I have my name badge from that class over. I'll show you later on in the video, but I just thought I'd show you. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Alright, Stella. Alright. No, you can't have it. Sorry. Okay, and then this is just like sewing tools. I've got my tags for Designs by Madam Ice. I've got bobbins. I've got needles. I've got extra thread, stuff like that. This is a giant spool of elastic for grime guards. A little tiny magnifier, and it's got a light on it. Safety pins. You can see my bag of plastic bobbins back there, and then this is just writing tools. I just wanted to really quickly show you what was in there. Bye. This is a painting that I did at Wine and Design, if you've ever heard of those. It was supposed to be normal lion type colors, like, you know, oranges and yellows and reds, but I'm not into those colors as much, so I made him funky, and I love him. I call him Lionel. So there he is. Alright, and blank walls, which I'm just not very good at decorating, so there's all my thread, calendar. Down here, I've got these sweet little containers to hold stuff. So this desk is actually really cool. My husband got it for me for my birthday. You can actually unlatch right there and fold this all together, and it becomes smaller. I think the idea is that you have a smaller desk most of the time, and only when you need it bring it up, but I always need a big desk, so I just leave it out. Over here in the corner, I've got all my mats and rulers for cutting fabric. And that table there is a fold-up table. It's my great-grandma's sewing table. It's really rickety, not very stable. I'll just show you Stella while I'm talking about it. But it's rickety, not very stable, but I love having it around. I pull it out when I'm cutting fabric sometimes. Just reminds me of great grandma Bessie. Over here, since I always have this desk open, I've hidden this little drawers right here. Up top, on top there, you can see a plastic bag. That's where I have stuff that I have a person in mind that I would like to give it to, but I just haven't gotten around to it. This top drawer is full of kitted up projects and empty project bags. So everything in here is something that I have all of everything that I need for it. And then, like I said, empty project bags. So I'm going to try my best to start looking in there anytime that I'm feeling the need to start something, because why not use the stuff that I've already got? All right. And down here, this is my drawer of shame. This is quilting projects and sewing projects that I just haven't worked on in forever. Up here, I'll just show you this one because it's easy to show you. Sorry about my finger right there. So, like these right here, I'll just pull them out. They're placemats that I made, and these are like, it's a line of Charleston fabrics, and I made these super cute placemats. I have 5 of them, I think, 5 or 6. All that needs to be done is they need to be quilted. I just can't seem to do that. So, maybe soon. Alright, and we'll back up here. I'm trying to kind of move slowly so I don't make you seasick, but I'm sorry if I still am. This is my whiteboard of whips, and I've shown it before, but we got it hung up on the wall finally so that Stella stops wiping it off with her nose every time she walks by it. But yeah, you can see right now I've got 13 whips going on, 2 open spaces, and down here, if you can see in the bottom right, my finished tracker, I've got 2 finished projects, and so I have a new start available when I want to. Also, Pam and Steph are down there by the finishes so that I can remember to ring the bell with them. Well, not actually, I don't have a bell, but I can pretend like I'm ringing a bell with them every time I write something up. Alright, there's my bookshelves. I will come back to those because at the end of this video, I'll do a nice slow pass of the bookshelves. That's for you, Kyle, so you can skip to the end if you want to see that. Over here is my stitching spot. This is a chair that my husband got me for my birthday. That big guy right there, that's Cinnamon. He's a teddy bear that I've had for a long time. I've got my Lowry stand right next to it. I keep this needle minder here at all times. It's called, it's super cute. It's from the class schedule style by Armada Designs. So I think she still has those needle minders up, but maybe not. I lost the back to it, and I was really sad about it because I lost the magnet. But it works really well to keep on your Lowry stand. I just clip patterns onto my stand while I'm working. I don't know if anyone else would like to do that, but that's what I do. Alright, down here is a basket of whips that I'm working on right now or soon. This bottom shelf is all my other whips that I just haven't pulled out relatively recently. And of course over here I've got a pillowcase with Mother's Tree in it because it's in the scroll rods. This shelf is full of just stitchy stuff. The book of embroidery from the Royal School of Needlework there. Got a couple other embroidery or cross-stitch books. That's a bunch of magazines. These binders, I have all my patterns in them. So, yeah. This purple one in the middle is where I keep all of my current whips, like those patterns, the originals with the pictures, so that when I film Flosstubes, I just pull out that binder and it's really easy for me to get the cover photos. And just some other stuff. I've got quilting patterns in there and stuff too. Okay, this is my useful tools while stitching shelf, and also a few months worth of color and cotton that I just haven't put away. And then this top shelf is stuff that I just like to look at. So I'll kind of scroll through. This is my StitchCon 2019 badge. This is a small that Barbara, she's Nevada Stitches on Instagram. She gave that to me at StitchCon. It's so cute. I want to see it all the time. This is a name tag that I had once during it's actually a weaving class that I took, but I like the name badge, so I just put it on here. This is a little booklet. I'm not going to open it up right now, but my local quilting shop gave those out one time when you checked out, and it's so cute in there. This is also from my local quilt shop. It's a little coupon they gave me for being, if you see this, I had a other analytical thinking. It was for a quilt that I made. I just put a lot of thought into it, and she was impressed. So that they give out these little coupons for people when they show off the cool stuff they do. That's just a pin that I think is funny. That's from StitchCon. One of my table mates had it. It's just like a little keychain. You can stitch on it. I will make it into a needle minder at some point. That's honestly there so I remember it. This is the small that I got in the Smalls Exchange in StitchCon. These tins, they were my stepmom and my dad, when they got married, they had tins on every table, and after the wedding they let us take some if we wanted it. Let's see if I can open it one-handed. And they're just full of things that are useful. Like this is clover clips, which if you quilt you know what those are. This is full of buttons, and this has stuffing in it. Actually, the top never goes back on, so I probably won't get it back on. It takes some work, but it's just full of stuffing. This little thing, it doesn't have anything in it right now, but I made that. I took a lathing class once, a wood lathe class, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I made this little thing. It always reminds me of a honey pot from Winnie the Pooh. That's what I was going for, kind of that like idea and shape. And then this is just a friend gave it to me when I studied abroad in Jordan. A woman that I met there, her name was Aya. When I left, she gave me this as a gift, and I just think it's pretty. It's a mirror and a comb, just a mirror. But I think they're really pretty, and I want to remember her always, so I put it out. Oh my goodness. Stella saw someone. Okay, this is my closet. Right here, you'll see this is where I keep my needle minders that I'm not using currently. It's just like a little thing I got at Joann's, and I just stick them on there. This is my Christmas ornament snow fun that I finished in late May or early June, and it's there because I think it's sad to pull out my Christmas boxes just to put something in it to store until Christmas. So it will hang there until Christmas this year. I will put it out, and then when I pack up Christmas decorations, it'll go in the box. But until then, it's just gonna hang out there. This is where I keep Eliza Bell Cox. That's a special project bag that I made for myself for scroll rods. Here are the M bars in there. And then the scroll rods are in here. That is a paper mache strawberry that came with the sampler, a little rag from Kitten Stitcher when she was selling it as a kit with the floss and everything. I've got a bunch of hoops up here. I don't use hoops. I use them for quilting, but I have a bunch. All right, and let's delve into the closet. Right away over here is all my grime guards for Designs by Madame Ice. This is how I store them. I have them on hangers. You know, my 11 by 17s, etc., etc. But the different like styles. So this is my globe grime guards, and I've got 2 different styles of 11 by 17 grime guards for that like bag or fabric set. And so I have one style on this side and the other style on the other side. And that's how I keep them stored until I send them out. That's a bag for my sewing machine. That's just a ironing cloth. And I've got some bolts of fabric down there. Why don't we start at the bottom and move up? So this is a bunch of finishing stuff. I've got, you know, ribbon and I don't know, all sorts of little things, paint, fiberfill, all that. This is floss storage and bead storage. So here's beads for my zipper pulls that I make for my bags. This is floss, beads, empty bead things, beads. Oh, this is, if you haven't watched my early videos, you might not know that I do this, but these are little Christmas ornaments that I fill with orts, but I color sort my orts. So, yeah, right before Christmas, I will go to my little jar that I have all my orts in, and I will sort them out, and then I will stick them in different ornaments because I'm crazy. This is my shipping stuff for Designs by Madame Ice and the zippers. This took me forever to organize, but this is my fabric storage. So I separated them into kind of, you know, like general chunks. This is yardage right here in fat quarter. So this is yardage that I have more than 1 yard, yardage that I have half to 1 yard, quarter to half yard, and this is my fat quarter. So I organized each section by color because that's what makes sense to my brain. And then I separated them with, this is just a strip of like leftover binding when I was making a quilt. And I just cut it into chunks and put labels on the end, and I laid them across to separate each group. So like if I want to get the quarter to half yards, I just can pick up right here. I know that they go from here to here. Anyways, this is large odds, medium odds, and small odds. So it's not yardage, but it's just chunks of fabric. That's battings, an old pair of jeans, because I have a few others that I need to stick in here, but I have a dream of making a denim quilt someday. This is my linen and Aida for cross stitch, strips of fabric, and then this is smaller strips, like not as wide. Up here I've got, that's a crochet project that I've been ignoring for years and years and years. That's my knitting stuff. I don't remember what's in that box. That's my graduation cap and gown. My diploma's under there too. This is just scraps, fabric scraps. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. A bunch of old DMC, some Legos, and other stuff up there. I've got some bags there, just totes. This is a quilt that I've been working on for several years. I designed it myself. I pull it out every once in a while, put in some stitches. I'm hand quilting it because that's what I enjoy, hand quilting more than I like machine quilting, but this is going to take me like forever and a day to finish. Those are some things that I want to hang on the wall, but haven't yet. And then down here is a tote. Let's see if I can. A tote with my Designs by Madame Ice finished bags ready to send out and all that, and just some extra storage stuff. All right. It's probably way more than you ever wanted to know about someone's closet. Let's move over here. So this is my Grandma Bessie corner. So this treadle machine was hers. She tried to throw it out at one point, and my mom took it from her, and it made its way to me. These are some sock monkeys that she made. She made sock monkeys for everyone. Right there is that little rag doll. I made that, actually. I think I got it when we went to Branson, Missouri one time. I think I bought it at Silver Dollar City. This is actually an apron, but Stella kept stealing it. So that's why it's kind of clamped down here. But also these clamps, I don't know if you guys know that much about quilting or how it used to be, but they used to spread quilts out on essentially think giant stretcher bars, and you stretch the entire quilt out, and then you'd work with your friends for like an entire day to get as much quilted as possible, and then you could roll it up and just have a little bit left for yourself to do. But sorry, I'm just trying to scroll and give you guys something to look at while I'm jabbering here. But anyway, so my grandma has these giant quilting stretcher bars, essentially, and when she passed on, I got those, and those clamps are what they use to like clamp the stretcher bars into a giant square. So I wanted to put those out because it makes me think of her too, and so I just clamped down the stuff so that Stella doesn't run away with it. And that's our Google Home Mini. Sorry, that was a really long story you probably don't care about. So this thing that I've been kind of zooming in on is a little lap quilt that was my great grandma's. Maybe like a week before she passed away. She wasn't doing so great because she had a stroke and was having troubles talking and stuff. But she always kept this on a couch in her living room. And probably a week before she passed, she communicated with my grandmother that she wanted me to have it. And so it makes me think of her. I have it hanging like this because when I'm sitting over here in my chair, I get to look over at the beautiful quilting and cross stitching that is on that quilt. All right, let's turn you around and show you the bookshelves. So hold on, Kyle. Oh, really quick, I should probably show you these pieces. So this is the Legendary Creatures alphabet style from Clouds Factory. It happened in 2018, and I kept up with it all year and finished it at the end of 2018. And then over here, this is the class schedule style by Armada Designs. I also kept up with this in 2018 and got it done on time. I finally last weekend like fully FFO'd it and made this cording here using Vanna Pfeiffer's cording tutorial so that I can actually hang it up. Oh, speaking of cording, just to show you a little bit of my crazy, I know you guys probably don't care about this, but you see this little thing right here? If you have watched that tutorial or know how to use a Krynic cording machine thing, Vanna uses this sweet little cup hook that her husband hung up for her to pull, you hook the floss around it and then use the tool. Well, I didn't have a cup hook and I wanted to make cording like right now, and so I used a paper clip, and that is forever what I'm going to use to make cording because that is just how I am. Anyways, okay, so let's do this, Kyle. I will go ahead and just slowly scroll over my bookshelf for you. This right here, The Lost Years of Merlin by T.A. Barron, is one of my favorite books. I read it when I was young, and I loved it so much. And that's all of his Merlin books. I love Merlin, anything that's like, King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table is okay, but mostly I just love anything that has to do with Merlin. So this is another kind of King Arthur story that has a lot to do with Merlin, the Telling Pool. I love it too. Okay, this shelf, I have my Lego, Hogwarts Express kind of blocking them, but I really enjoy this series. The first one is called Foundling, Lamplighter, and Factotum. This book right here, The Passage by Justin Cronin, it changed my nightmares. Completely shifted the things that appear in my nightmares after I read it. It's a really good science fiction book. Of course, Inkheart. I love Inkheart. If you've ever read it, the house that the girl's aunt lives in with just books everywhere, that is my dream. If I could just have a house like that. It's a giant mansion just full of books. It's awesome. I went on a really big Ursula K. Le Guin kick for a while, so that's a bunch of her books. Down here, the Bloody Jack series. I loved that when I was in junior high, early high school. Of course, Twilight. My personal opinion is this book right here, The Host by Stephanie Meyer, is better than the Twilight series, but it didn't get as much attention. Over here, that's marking that is where the book that I'm currently reading is supposed to go. That's a note card that my husband used for a final in college, and he gave it to me for and I used it for a bookmark for a really long time now. I just still have it. You'll notice that there's some damage to a bunch of these books. Sorry, I got distracted. There's some damage to some of these books. I'll show you when I get a little closer. Oh, this is all a series of unfortunate events. I love those. And Lord of the Rings. Okay, so for example, you'll see this book right here. Right, you see that? It looks almost like something chewed on it. It did. That would be my chinchilla. Both of them, actually. I had two at one point. And they love chewing on books. And the one that I have now, I had in college, and they can jump really high, and they love chewing on books, and they would get on my bookshelves when they'd be out, and they would chew on them, and it would make me so mad. But, so I've got a lot of chinchilla nibbled books. These are some of their favorites. If you can tell, they were always on the bottom shelf because it's Jane Yolen, so they got to them. I really like that series. All right, so that's my, what do I want to say? Fun reading books. This is another finish that is a winter finish, and it's just there until the Christmas box comes out, and I decorate, and then it'll go in there for the rest of the year. But until then, it's going to live right here. This is Winter Woods. This is just a small selection of some of my favorite children's books from when I was a kid. And then this little book of Pooisms, that blue book, I just got that recently, but I put it with the kids' books. This is all my Arabic books and quilting. And that's my bookshelf. That's my serger right there. It lives on the floor beside the bookshelves. And that is, I think, it. I hope y'all enjoyed this little tour and glimpse into my happy space. Thanks for watching. Bye.